Hello book lovelies, and welcome back to the Happy Little Book Nook. For most people, today is October 31st, which means it is Halloween. I have other things on my mind, and you probably do too. Tonight is the Eve of NaNoWriMo, which means tomorrow we kick off our venture into 50,000 words of a story. Yay! So, I want to wish you a happy Halloween if you're out having fun, but more importantly, let's talk about the good stuff. Happy NaNoWriMo! Okay, that was kind of cheesy, but you know. I apologize if I sound kind of funky and, for being all warm and bundly tonight. I woke up this morning not feeling very well, and as with all things NaNoWriMo, it seems like everything hits like right at November 1st. So I've got a bit of a cold, so I don't really feel too great, so this might not be the longest video, but I definitely wanted to get it out to you guys right before NaNoWriMo because I feel like it's really important. So we're going to cover 3 different topics, and I mentioned this in my last video that we're going to talk about kind of the ways to be prepared for NaNoWriMo. The 3 things that we're going to talk about is 1, making sure that you have an outline for your story, and that's something that you're going to be able to build up throughout NaNoWriMo, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. The next thing is keeping track of your word count. So I've got some little tips and things for doing that. The 3rd thing is going to be planning your writing time. So let's start out with number 1. Talking about the outline. So whenever I've done NaNoWriMo, last year was the first year I officially did NaNoWriMo. And I was kind of lucky because I already knew the story really, really well that I wanted to write, because it was a sequel to my first novel, and I pretty much knew where I was going, or I thought I did. And as I got into the story, I realized there were just parts that were getting really messy and kind of all over the place, and it wasn't really working the way that I'd hoped it would. So I kind of had to stop what I was doing with NaNoWriMo and write down everything that I wanted to achieve in this story, or at least up until the 50,000 word mark. And I felt like I was kind of taking a step back, doing it midway through NaNoWriMo. And at that point I already had so much written that I was kind of I don't know if this is the best idea. So this year I'm trying to start ahead of schedule. I've started building my, my outline already. So I'm already ahead of the game. I've started writing out my outline, which I'll show you a little bit of in just a moment. And kind of go over that. But I realize that the outline is something that's going to be growing and changing throughout November as we go through NaNoWriMo. Because I have the basic ideas down, but I feel like as I start to get into the story, that's when I'm going to start to really figure out the meat of it, if that makes sense. But having something at least to start with is huge. And being able to kind of keep your thoughts in some type of organized pattern and keeping things together will make a huge, huge difference and really help you towards success when it comes to completing NaNoWriMo. So whatever way you choose to outline, definitely create some type of outline. And it doesn't have to be anything formal, it doesn't have to be anything that looks like anybody else's. It's just got to be your way of organizing your thoughts to make sure that you keep yourself on track and that you know where your story's going, and you don't get into one of those situations where you feel like you've walked yourself into a wall or a corner and you're just kind of how do I get out of here? So that's going to be hugely important. Okay guys, so here is the basics of my outline. I haven't really given you everything because I do want to keep a lot of the story kind of secret and not, expose too much before it's time. But I love to start with obviously the name of my project. The main characters, I like to kind of list their names and maybe a little bit about them, just kind of give me a little something to work with. And then what I really like to do is do a summary here. And this just kind of forces me to, to create the main premise of what my story is going to be about, and to start kind of thinking through the key points that I want to do. Past this, down on this long page here that's blank, is where I would be listing all my main points, things that I want to make sure I hit as far as chapters go, as far as key climax points, key story plots, all of that. So that's what's going to be going here. The second thing is keeping track of your word count. So I know NaNoWriMo is really good about keeping track of it for you. You can enter like how many things you've written throughout the day. I'm a little more like of a visual writing type person. I guess that's why I'm a writer. So I'll show you here what I did for Camp NaNoWriMo back in April. And I didn't stick with it as much as I wanted to because I kind of went back and forth between a digital calendar and like a handwritten calendar, because in April I was all over the place with crazy stuff going on, so it didn't work as well as I wanted it to, but it did have the right premise. So on each day in my calendar, and I'll show you here in just a second, I went through and put word count, and then I would write down how much I wrote that day. That way, wherever I was, because it was like a pocket calendar, I could take it with me everywhere. I would kind of know, hey, like, I really need to, you know, get serious and write some more, or I've been doing pretty good, I've been keeping on track. And it just helped me stay accountable, kind of helped me have something to look at, because I feel like if you're not logged onto the NaNoWriMo website consistently, it's really easy to kind of forget, because when you see that chart and you're like, oh, not hitting my word count, or you see it and you're just kind of like, I could be doing a little bit better, or maybe you're doing great. It just kind of gives you that mental push that you need to really like get the stuff done. So putting it in your calendar, something that you can leave open on your desk right where you're going to write, or even keep in your bag, like I said, and take it with you, so you're constantly aware of what you're doing. Hugely helpful. And it definitely kind of helped me plan out my time, which is what we're going to talk about now. Third thing to being successful at NaNoWriMo is to really protect and plan your writing time. So now that I've done NaNoWriMo and I've done camps and all of that, my family and my friends know that November is NaNoWriMo month. And I make a valiant effort at letting them know all throughout the year, I'm doing NaNoWriMo, you're gonna give me some time to write. And I love to tell my parents, hey, I got 1,667 words to write today. You know where I'll be. Moving on to November 2016, which is this NaNoWriMo. This is what I'm talking about when I say like protect your writing time. So tomorrow, the 1st, I get off work at 3 p.m. So from 3 p.m. on, I plan to be writing for NaNoWriMo. And then I've already got my word count there, and it's just waiting to be filled in so I can hopefully get an amazing start to my month of November. Obviously, I've got some other stuff going on, like blog tours and stuff, but this is the start, guys. This is how it looks. This is where it begins. It's really important that you take it seriously. You know, if you're just doing, I mean, it's obviously always going to be for fun. It's not something that, you know, is like a job or, you know, something that you are contractually obligated to do. But it is something that as a writer, as somebody who loves to write and wants to do books, you want to do well and you want to be committed to it and you want to get as much done as you can. So if you're like a professional writer, you've got to keep your time for your writing. For me, you know, my days are all kind of over the place because my day job does not have consistent hours. So some days I'm working longer days, some days I'm working shorter days, some days I'm not working at all. Other days I'm working very late days and then starting very early. It is chaos as far as my schedule goes. So when it comes to NaNoWriMo, I basically have to kind of evaluate my month and say, okay, these are the hours that I'm working, this is going to be my writing time. And if I come home from work and I gotta, you know, get down to writing after dinner or, you know, right before I do something else, that's just the way it's going to be. But I try to protect it as much as possible in that I don't let other things distract me. I don't let other things kind of get in the way. I let my friends and family know, hey, I'm not trying to be antisocial. I just got a novel to write. And I think the more that you put it out there and the more that you talk about it, the more seriously people take you as a writer and the more seriously you take yourself as a writer. I feel like one of the hardest things for anybody that's a writer or an author is to like own that title. Like, you know, the job that I do, I'm a computer technician, so I work and repair computers and stuff. So it's easy for me to tell people, oh yeah, this is my job title, this is what I do, because it is what I do. But when it comes to me being a writer and an author, it always seems kind of like second nature, where my first response is, oh, I do this because that's my day job. I don't automatically go, I'm a writer, I'm an author. And that's something that I've really, really, really started to work on, is really owning that title and owning that passion of mine, because that's what I am and that's what I do. And even though, you know, I have this day job, my writing and my books are what's most important to me. So that's what I want to take ownership of and create as my title. And I feel like when you're doing NaNoWriMo, own up to it. When people say, hey, what are you doing? I'm writing a novel. You know, because you are. And you are a writer. And the minute you put any words down on a paper, you are a writer. And the more seriously you take it, the more seriously other people will take it too. So really, really plan your time. You know, protect that time. Protect it as if it were your job. Protect it as if you have a boss that's going to say, hey, you know what, maybe you don't owe me hours, but you owe me 1,667 words today. Are you going to get it done? You're always going to have sick days like me, where I don't feel very well. And I'm hoping and praying that when I wake up tomorrow, I'm feeling better. And I will be able to really like dive into NaNoWriMo full strength. But really, really just, you know, take care of yourself, obviously. But look at this as a job. Look at this as something that you are passionate about and you care about, and really take it seriously. And there's going to be a lot of people that don't understand it. There's a lot of people that are going to laugh about it. Because when I tell people, hey, I'm doing NaNoWriMo, I got to write 50,000 words in a month. They're like, well, what do you win? I'm like, you win having a novel. Okay, but like, what do you win? Well, I win because I wrote 50,000 words. And then you just get that blank stare that, what? It doesn't make sense to a lot of people. It probably won't, and that's okay. As long as it makes sense to you, as long as it matters to you, that is all that matters. So write your heart out, write with your passion, don't stop, keep going. I am going to be here throughout all of November to keep coaching you and cheerleading you on, because I am one of your biggest supporters. Please always feel free to comment down below, email me, message me on Instagram, wherever you want to contact me. If you need a little bit of encouragement, if you need some writing tips, if you're stuck and you just need someone to kind of help work through something, please, please, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm never too busy for you guys. And we're going to continue on this journey, and we are going to make it magical and wonderful. So in saying all of that, I am going to go now. I am going to finish editing this video for you guys. Enjoy a few more hours of peace and quiet before November 1st officially dawns upon us. Get in as much reading as I can tonight, because it could be a pretty slow reading month with NaNoWriMo. But I'm wishing you all the best. I hope you have an amazing time. I hope it is fun, it's exciting, and it is as wonderful as I know it will be. And just know you are not alone in it. I'm super excited for what you're going to write. I can't wait to hear about it. And I know that tomorrow is going to be the start of an amazing, amazing month. And I'm super excited, guys. Like, I haven't even had much candy today, and I'm just so excited about NaNoWriMo. So here's wishing you guys an amazing NaNoWriMo, and I will be seeing you very, very soon. Until next time, book lovelies, happy reading and happy writing.